Paris. The city of love, of lights, and of secrets. But during the dark days of World War II, a shadow loomed over this beautiful city, a shadow cast by a man who would come to be known as a Dr. Satan. His real name? Marcel Pichot. A trusted doctor. A man of compassion, or so it seemed. But beneath his friendly smile and gentle demeanor lurked something far more sinister, something so evil that even in a city ravaged by war, his crimes stood out as some of the most horrifying. In the chaos of Nazi-occupied Paris, many sought escape: Jews, resistance fighters, fugitives. Dr. Pichot, promising freedom, became their savior. Or so they thought. Those who entered his house would never leave alive. They had trusted him, handed over their last bit of hope, but instead of salvation, they were led into a death trap. Inside this house, Pichot experimented on his victims, tortured them, and then murdered them in cold blood. Men, women, children, none were spared. He had no remorse, no conscience. Dr. Satan took pleasure in their suffering. And when he was done, he burned their bodies to ash in his furnace, reducing them to nothing more than forgotten memories. Their cries for help lost in the wind. It wasn't until 1944, when neighbors complained of a foul stench, that the authorities discovered the unthinkable. In his home, they found the remains of at least 27 people. Though it is believed he killed many more. He was a monster hiding in plain sight, feeding on the fear and suffering of his victims. Even as he stood trial, Dr. Satan showed no remorse. He smiled, laughed, as if his actions were nothing more than a game. He claimed he had only killed enemies of the state. But everyone knew. This man was a predator, a sadist, a murderer. Finally, in 1946, Marcel Pichot was sentenced to death for his crimes. And in that very same year, the guillotine fell. And Dr. Satan was no more. But the scars he left on Paris, those may never heal. His victims, their families, they were robbed of justice, of peace. And even now, on cold, stormy nights, some say the spirits of those lost souls still roam the streets, searching for the freedom they were promised, but never received. Beware the kindness of strangers. For behind the mask of compassion, sometimes hides a monster. Until next time, stay safe.